Hi there crafters, Louise with you today. Thanks for checking out this video. It has a bit of a funny story, but let me tell you about the layout first. So with the frames in this month's kit, I think these are so fun to work with. These 49er market frames have some really different uses, some fun ways, backgrounds, lots of things that you can do. But I'd never thought to actually treat them almost like a cut file and back them with patterned paper, or in this case, I wanted to have a spot for my journaling so that I could really tell the story of this particular photo. Now I am creating with 9x12, and our fearless leader Steph has encouraged us to try and not use white backgrounds this month. So I've started with a black cardstock background, and as you can see I have just a small single photo, and I'm using the frames as the feature. So choosing some patterned papers that I think will coordinate really well. I'm going to actually mount the frames onto the patterned paper and use that almost as a feature. Now I didn't start off with the grid style that I finished this layout with. It didn't begin that way in my mind, but I had to try and just move the elements around. You can see I'm sort of having a little bit of a play. Do I want to add more of these sort of shapes that are mounted? What am I going to do here? Do I want a cluster at the top, a cluster at the bottom? It was a trial and error process, and you can see that I'm going to audition a few little bits and pieces and create some cluster areas, and as the clusters come together, it's where I sort of start to develop the layout a little bit more. Adding pieces around the photo, around the cluster, those sort of frames and bits and pieces, but the real focus is the journaling, and I'm not sure how well you can read the journaling either in the photo or in this video, but basically the story goes that my two children were told to brush their teeth, and they took off running, and as they got to the bathroom, one of them slammed the door in the other one's face at the same time as he fell against the handle, and he cracked his front adult tooth. There was so much screaming. There was no blood or anything. I couldn't understand it. I was out in the kitchen, and there was just screaming like you wouldn't believe. And they thought they were in so much trouble. But it is one of those things, and I, of course, as a scrap mum, had to take a photo, not only for the memory's sake, but also because my father actually has a chipped tooth in exactly the same position as this particular child's, and this particular child, so this is Zaleb, Master Zaleb, he actually is just like my father. They are just like two peas in a pod, and I thought it was hilarious, so I had to send it to my dad to actually just show him exactly how much Zaleb was like his grandfather. So that is the story of how my son broke his tooth, and of course we have the opportunity to spend quite a bit of money on dental work trying to fix it. But let's face it, he's an 11-year-old boy. He's probably just going to break it again or break the other one. So at this stage, we actually haven't got it fixed, and it lends itself to quite a bit of character, I reckon. All right, so back to the layout. This is the part where you can see I have had a little bit of a fiddle around, and I've managed to make my 4 initial areas of interest into these 2 clusters, and I do like this much better. I think that this really comes together a lot more visually pleasing. You have the ability, as you can see, to add a few more embellishments. I'm focusing on sort of the ephemera pieces and the sticker sheet, just trying to bring this all together so that I've got this story recorded. Now, I thought about adding a little bit of mixed media to the background, so a little bit of splatter, but I end up just leaving it quite raw and adding some of these stars into the background. I thought about adding a few more other stars and bits and pieces, but I already had a lot going on, and this one was meant to be about the story. So I'm going to keep it to the story, nice and simple, and this layout will go in Master Zed's 9x12 album of his life memories. So thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. If you haven't already subscribed, I recommend you hit that button.